Hello friends. What if I told you your zodiac sign has its very own secret love language? A hidden code that tells you exactly how you give love and, more importantly, how you crave it back. Imagine saying, "I love you," 100 times, but if it's not in the right language, your partner might never hear it. Today, we're unlocking the hidden love language of all 12 zodiac signs, so you'll finally understand why some people melt at a hug, while others just want you to wash the dishes. Aries. Aries feels love through action, not just words, and when we really stop to think about that, it makes complete sense. This is the first sign of the zodiac, the fiery trailblazer, the spark that ignites new beginnings, and they're wired to crave movement, passion, and experiences that feel alive. To love an Aries is to understand that they don't want to just hear about your feelings, they want to see them in motion. To them, "I love you" isn't nearly as powerful as showing up when they need you, standing beside them in challenges, or surprising them with something bold that makes their heart race. Their secret love language is best described as acts of bravery. It's about stepping into life with them, not sitting on the sidelines waiting for things to happen. Imagine telling an Aries how much you adore them, but then never backing it up with action. No spontaneous plans, no adventures, no gestures that prove your words. It won't take long before they feel restless and disappointed. Aries doesn't fall for empty promises, they fall for the thrill of someone who proves their devotion by doing. They feel cherished when their partner grabs their hand and says, "Let's go do this together," whether this is booking a last-minute weekend trip, joining them in a new hobby, or even tackling a workout side by side. It's the sense of togetherness in action that makes Aries' heart beat faster. Aries' love is vibrant, fiery, and a little impatient, which is why stagnancy feels like heartbreak to them. When a partner drags their feet, hesitates too much, or plays manipulative games, Aries picks up on it instantly. Their passion is fueled by honesty, courage, and momentum, and without those ingredients, the flame dims quickly. They crave bold gestures, not necessarily extravagant or expensive, but filled with intention and daring. For instance, showing up unannounced at their workplace with lunch because you know they forgot to eat, planning a mini adventure just because it's Tuesday, or being the first to say, "I'm sorry," after a fight. These small acts feel monumental to Aries. It tells them you're brave enough to love with your whole chest. And bravery really is the key word. Aries feels love when their partner is fearless enough to take initiative. They are the warrior of the zodiac, but even warriors need someone who will stand beside them in battle, not hide behind them. They light up when you defend them, when you protect their honor in social settings, or when you're willing to step into something unfamiliar just because it matters to them. If they're passionate about running a marathon, they don't need you to win the race with them. They just need you cheering at the finish line, water bottle in hand, showing that their fight matters to you, too. Aries also loves spontaneity. Their idea of romance isn't just candlelit dinners and roses. It's the surprise road trip to a hidden beach, the last-minute decision to go salsa dancing, the "get in the car, I've got an idea" energy that keeps life from going stale. They're attracted to partners who match their fire, who don't need weeks of planning to have fun, and who can say yes to adventure without hesitation. That doesn't mean Aries is reckless. It means they see love as an experience meant to be lived rather than scripted. On the flip side, Aries struggles when love feels too safe, too predictable, or too passive. They want partners who pursue them with enthusiasm, not someone who sits back and waits. If you're too cautious, too detached, or constantly second-guessing, Aries may interpret it as a lack of genuine passion. They don't want endless conversations about what you might do, they want you to actually do it. Their biggest fear in love is wasting time with someone who talks about building castles but never lays a brick. The secret to keeping Aries feeling adored is to keep showing up with energy, courage, and sincerity. Tell them you love them, but back it up with actions that prove you mean it. Say, "I'm proud of you," and then demonstrate it by supporting their dreams, no matter how wild they seem. Take initiative, plan dates, suggest fun challenges, or surprise them with something they didn't see coming. Love for Aries isn't passive, it's dynamic, alive, and constantly in motion. When you love an Aries in their language, they'll never doubt you. They'll know your feelings are real, because they can feel them in every action you take. They don't need grand speeches. They need to see you walking beside them, running with them, and sometimes even leaping into the unknown together. To Aries, that's what love is. Not just words spoken, but bravery shared. Taurus. For Taurus, love is comfort, security, and physical proof of devotion. They don't just want to hear, "I love you," they want to feel it in their bones, in the warmth of a hug, the softness of a blanket you drape over them, the thoughtfulness of remembering their favorite dessert. Their secret love language can be described as touch plus meaningful gifts, but it goes so much deeper than that. It's about creating a sanctuary where they can breathe, relax, and know without a doubt that they are cherished. Taurus is ruled by Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and pleasure, and that influence runs strong in their hearts. They crave relationships that feel steady and tangible, not fleeting or uncertain. To them, love is proven through consistency and presence. A cozy dinner at home prepared with care means far more than flashy words or dramatic declarations. They feel valued when someone takes time to plan a simple yet intimate experience. Dim lights, good food, maybe music humming softly in the background, because those details signal safety, stability, and intentional love. Touch is one of the most important ingredients in loving a Taurus. A reassuring squeeze of the hand, a lingering hug, or lying together under a blanket speaks volumes to them. Physical closeness recharges their heart in ways words can't match. They want to feel that you're there, not just emotionally, but physically. Sitting shoulder to shoulder, brushing their hair out of their face, resting a hand on their knee, these subtle moments are everything. Touch, for Taurus, is the language of reassurance, the quiet way of saying, "I'm not going anywhere." Then there's their connection to meaningful gifts. Don't mistake this for materialism. Taurus isn't impressed by how expensive something is, but rather by the thought and permanence behind it. A book that made you think of them, a piece of jewelry that holds sentimental value, even a carefully handwritten letter, these tokens become treasures. They love gifts that they can hold on to, things that remind them of your bond long after the moment has passed. If you bring them their favorite coffee unprompted or surprise them with a small token that proves you pay attention to their tastes, it will matter far more than flashy gestures lacking sincerity. Taurus thrives in routine and rituals. They feel secure when they know their partner will show up in small, consistent ways. Weekly movie nights, morning coffee together, Sunday walks. These shared traditions are not boring to them, they are sacred. Predictability doesn't scare Taurus, it comforts them. It's how they know your love is stable and lasting. Spontaneity has its place, but for Taurus, routine rituals build the foundation of trust. On the emotional side, Taurus can be deeply sensitive, even if they don't always show it. When you dismiss small gestures or fail to follow through on promises, they don't forget. In fact, Taurus notices everything, the times you remembered, and the times you didn't. Forgetting their favorite dish or skipping a date you promised might feel small to you, but to them, it can shake their sense of security. To love a Taurus means respecting their need for reliability and proving, again and again, that you are present and dependable. Romance, for Taurus, is also tied to the senses. They appreciate environments that feel beautiful and indulgent, a candlelit dinner, soft fabrics, a pleasant fragrance in the room. To them, creating an atmosphere of comfort and luxury is a form of intimacy. Love is in the small details. The texture of a blanket, the warmth of a home-cooked meal, the rhythm of a song that plays during your time together. They associate love with beauty, not in the superficial sense, but in the way it makes them feel safe and soothed. One of the greatest secrets of Taurus love language is patience. They don't rush into love, and they don't want fleeting sparks. They want a flame that burns slow and steady. When you show up consistently, invest in the relationship, and give them time to trust, they blossom. Once they feel secure, their loyalty is unmatched. They will hold on to you fiercely, protect you, and make sure your life feels just as grounded as you've made theirs. The shadow side of Taurus is that they can cling to comfort so much that they resist change. If you try to shake their world too quickly or disrupt their sense of stability, they may retreat. They need reassurance during transitions, not promises of wild adventure, but reminders that no matter what changes around them, your love remains a constant. The worst thing you can do with Taurus is treat their need for stability as unimportant. It's not just a preference, it's their heart's foundation. So how do you speak Taurus' secret love language? You don't need diamonds or extravagant getaways. You need reliability, gentle touch, and thoughtfulness. You need to show up, again and again, with presence and care. Wrap them in affection, offer them small tokens that hold meaning, and never underestimate the power of keeping your word. Their heart doesn't open to grand speeches. It opens when they feel safe enough to lean into your embrace and trust that you'll be there tomorrow, and the next day, and every day after that. To love a Taurus is to love slowly, deeply, and consistently. Once they know your love is real, you'll have a partner who not only returns that devotion but magnifies it, surrounding you with loyalty, comfort, and the kind of steady affection that makes life feel like home. Gemini. Gemini's love language is words plus playful connection, and to truly understand this, you have to picture what it feels like to fall in love with a mind that never stops moving. Geminis live in conversation, their thoughts are sparks, their words are fire, and their ability to shift from laughter to deep meaning in the span of a heartbeat is their greatest charm. For them, love begins in the realm of curiosity. If you can keep their mind entertained, their heart naturally follows. They don't want love that feels like a script, they want love that feels like an improv show, spontaneous, witty, alive, and filled with inside jokes that no one else would ever understand. Words are everything to a Gemini, but not just any words. They want words that dance. Teasing banter, late-night text chains, clever memes that only the two of you would laugh at, even random questions like, if you could live in another time period, which would it be? These moments build intimacy faster than 1,000 roses ever could. Geminis fall in love through the way you engage their brain, because once you have their mind, their heart is already halfway yours. They are magnetized by humor, charmed by curiosity, and deeply moved when you actually listen to their stories and throw questions back at them. Playfulness is at the core of Gemini love. They don't just want a partner, they want a partner in crime, someone who's down for spontaneous adventures and silly experiments. Imagine sending them a random text that says, "Put on your shoes, we're going out for milkshakes at midnight." To most people, it's random. To a Gemini, it's electric. It tells them you're not afraid to live in the moment. They crave the thrill of unpredictability, but not in a chaotic way, in a way that makes life feel colorful and fun. When love feels like a playground, Gemini feels safe enough to open up. What really lights them up is curiosity returned. Ask them questions, challenge their opinions, throw in unexpected topics, and dive into conversations that twist and turn. They thrive when their partner is as mentally agile as they are. To a Gemini, being seen and valued for their quicksilver mind is the ultimate form of affection. If you brush off their thoughts, cut them short, or act uninterested, it stings deeper than you might realize. But if you lean in, smile, and ask, "Tell me more," they'll glow from within. Silence is one of the biggest killers for Gemini's love language. Not the comfortable silence of sitting together, they can appreciate that too, but the silence of neglect, disinterest, or disengagement. When the connection goes flat, when conversations dry up, when jokes don't land anymore, they start to feel caged. Their mind is a bird that needs space to fly. Routines that lack variation or partners who don't make an effort to keep things stimulating can make Gemini restless. If you go too long without playing, laughing, or sparking a new topic, they'll feel like they're fading away inside the relationship. Another hidden part of Gemini's love language is flexibility. They are dual-natured, symbolized by the twins, which means they often shift moods, interests, and perspectives. To love them is to flow with that duality rather than resist it. One day they may want deep philosophical debates, and the next, they just want to binge-watch cartoons and laugh about nonsense. If you can embrace both sides, the thinker and the trickster, the dreamer and the realist, you'll speak directly to their heart. For Gemini, digital communication is also a modern love language. A quick text, a funny meme, a random voice note in the middle of the day. These are tiny ways to say, "I thought of you." They may not always need dramatic gestures, but they thrive when they feel connected to you in real time. The flow of messages and words creates a web of intimacy, reminding them that the relationship is alive and pulsing even when you're apart. The beauty of Gemini's secret love language is that it reminds us love doesn't have to be heavy to be meaningful. They teach us that laughter is intimacy, that shared stories create bonds, and that words, when used playfully and intentionally, can build a connection stronger than stone. To love a Gemini in their language, you must stay curious, stay light, and stay engaged. Don't be afraid to play, don't be afraid to ask, and don't ever underestimate the power of a silly inside joke that no one else would get. For Gemini, love is found in the in-between moments, the shared glance when a joke lands, the random tangent in the middle of the night, the question that sparks an hour-long conversation. That's where their heart blooms. Cancer. For Cancer, love is safety, memory, and closeness. Their language is quality time plus nurturing, but to really grasp what that means, you have to picture a love that feels like coming home after a long day. Cancer is ruled by the moon, the planet of emotions, intuition, and comfort, and their approach to love is deeply tied to these lunar qualities. They want a connection that is warm, protective, and enduring, one that feels less like a fleeting romance and more like a sanctuary. For them, love isn't about grand gestures, it's about being there, consistently, in ways that make life softer and more secure. Time is their currency. A Cancer doesn't care how much money you spend or how flashy your gestures are if you're not giving them your time. They crave presence, unhurried, undistracted, and genuine. It could be a quiet evening spent cooking together, sitting on the couch with a blanket, or even running errands side by side. What matters is that you're there, body and soul, engaged and connected. In a world that moves too fast, Cancer loves slowly, intentionally, and with full focus. Nurturing is their instinct, and they express love by caring for others in small, often unnoticed ways. They'll remember how you like your coffee, they'll save the last bite of dessert for you, they'll check if you made it home safely. And in return, they crave that same nurturing energy. Bring them soup when they're sick, notice when they're tired, and offer comfort before they even ask. To Cancer, these small acts of thoughtfulness are declarations of love louder than any words. Memories are sacred to them. They treasure shared experiences, anniversaries, family traditions, inside stories that only you two share. They'll keep old movie tickets, save handwritten notes, and cherish photos like gold. To Cancer, love is a story, and they're writing it with you every day. A partner who understands this will honor those rituals, celebrate milestones, and create new traditions that weave your lives together. On the emotional side, Cancer is incredibly intuitive. They often sense when something is off long before it's spoken. If you're distant, if you're holding back, if you're not fully present, they'll feel it immediately. Their shell is their protection. When they sense rejection or neglect, they retreat inside, making it hard to reach them. Disappearing without explanation or dismissing their feelings is devastating to them. Consistency and reassurance are what keep their hearts open. For Cancer, love is also about home, not just the physical space, but the feeling. They thrive in environments where they can relax, feel safe, and be their authentic selves. If you want to speak their love language, invest in creating a cozy, welcoming space together. Share meals, decorate together, or simply create a routine that makes the relationship feel rooted and grounded. They want a love that doesn't just exist in fleeting moments but one that shapes a life together. Cancer's secret love language, at its core, is about being emotionally held. They want to feel like you're a safe place they can come back to no matter what. A partner who is attentive, kind, and emotionally available will win their heart fully. Love them with patience, presence, and warmth, and they will repay you with loyalty, tenderness, and a devotion that is both fierce and gentle. When you love a Cancer in their language, you're not just loving a person, you're becoming their home. And in return, they will surround you with a love so deep, so nurturing, and so enduring that you'll never question where you belong. Leo. Leo's love language? Words of admiration plus grand gestures. To understand this, imagine someone whose very soul lights up when they feel seen, appreciated, and celebrated. Leo is ruled by the sun, and just like the sun, they radiate, they warm, and they thrive when they are recognized for their glow. Their love language is a mix of verbal praise and big, bold displays of affection that tell them they are not only loved but adored. They want a love that feels like a standing ovation, a spotlight moment where their efforts, beauty, and heart are acknowledged with sincerity. Compliments for a Leo aren't just fluff, they're fuel. A heartfelt, "You were incredible. I'm so proud of you," lands in their soul like water in the desert. Words of admiration make them feel alive, but only when those words are genuine. They have a keen radar for fake praise, and insincerity cuts deeper than silence. To love a Leo in their language is to notice their effort, highlight their strengths, and speak encouragement into them often. Tell them how brilliant they were after a presentation, how beautiful they look in the morning light, or how much you admire the way they handled a tough situation. Words mean the world, but only if they're rooted in truth. Grand gestures are the second part of Leo's secret love language. While some signs prefer quiet acts of service, Leo feels loved through displays of affection that show pride and effort. This doesn't mean it always has to be expensive or extravagant, it's the thought and visibility that count. Throwing them a surprise birthday party, planning a night where they feel like royalty, writing them a heartfelt note and reading it aloud in front of friends, these acts show that you're not just loving them privately, you're loving them openly, loudly, and with pride. Leo doesn't just want whispered affection, they want love that echoes. Public recognition is huge for Leo. They shine when you're proud of them not just in private but in front of others. Introducing them as your partner with admiration in your voice, bragging about their accomplishments, or simply holding their hand with confidence in public feeds their need to feel valued and chosen. They are not vain, they are simply fueled by love that doesn't hide. To them, being honored openly is reassurance that your love is real and strong enough to be celebrated. Leos are natural performers, leaders, and creators, and they invest their whole hearts into what they do. This is why downplaying their efforts or mocking their shine wounds them so deeply. They give generously, they create beauty, they fight passionately, and when their partner belittles or ignores that, it feels like a betrayal. Even sarcastic jokes that dismiss their achievements can sting in ways they'll never forget. They don't demand constant praise, but they need their partner to acknowledge that their fire is meaningful. To love a Leo in their language, bring excitement and sparkle into the relationship. Plan dates that feel like an event, surprise them with little luxuries, and make them feel like life with you is vibrant and special. Celebrate their wins with enthusiasm, whether it's a small personal goal or a major career achievement. Even little things like bringing them flowers, just because, or telling them, "You make my life brighter," go further than you might imagine. Leos also give love in the same language they crave it. They will hype you up, shower you with compliments, and plan romantic gestures that make you feel cherished. Their devotion is bold, generous, and sometimes dramatic. They are not afraid to love loudly, and they want a partner who can reflect that same intensity back. If you match their passion, you'll find yourself wrapped in a love that feels like sunshine, warm, radiant, and unforgettable. So remember, Leo doesn't just want to be loved quietly, they want to be celebrated openly. Speak to them with admiration, back it up with grand gestures, and never diminish their shine. Love them like you're their biggest fan, and in return, they will love you like a superstar, fiercely, wholeheartedly, and with a loyalty that burns as brightly as the sun itself. Virgo. Virgo's heart speaks acts of service plus details, and that truth lies at the very core of their being. To love a Virgo is to understand that for them, romance is not about dramatic declarations or overwhelming displays, but about the quiet, consistent support that makes daily life easier, smoother, and more meaningful. They don't just hear, "I love you," in words. They hear it in the way you fix something that's broken, the way you remember their coffee order, or the way you quietly step in to handle a task before they even ask. Virgo thrives in order, precision, and reliability. Their love language is practical at its core. A partner who takes action to lighten their load speaks louder than 1,000 love poems. Planning the trip, organizing the details, making sure everything runs smoothly, these gestures make them feel deeply cared for. A Virgo's heart relaxes when they know their partner is dependable, capable, and willing to share responsibilities. Details matter more than anything. Virgo notices everything, from the way you fold laundry to whether you remembered their favorite snack at the store. It's not about being picky, it's about feeling seen. When you pay attention to the small things, you're telling them, I know you. I notice you. You matter to me. Forgetting these details, or being careless with them, can feel like neglect in Virgo's sensitive heart. Acts of service are how Virgo both gives and receives love. If they love you, they'll quietly take care of things. They'll make sure your favorite shirt is clean. They'll run errands for you. They'll plan the most efficient route for your road trip. Their affection comes wrapped in practicality. And when you return the same energy, by helping with chores, managing responsibilities, or stepping in without being asked, they feel supported in the most intimate way. Virgo is also soothed by order and routine. Chaos and disorganization spike their anxiety, making them feel unsafe. When you follow through on your promises, keep things clean, and maintain stability, you create an environment where Virgo feels secure enough to open up emotionally. On the flip side, when you're careless, sloppy, or unreliable, it triggers their fears and makes them question whether they can truly depend on you. Their secret love language isn't about extravagance but about precision and sincerity. They don't want a dozen roses if you forgot the one thing they mentioned mattered most to them last week. They don't need dramatic speeches if you can't follow through with actions. To Virgo, true love is measured in reliability, consistency, and attention to detail. So how do you love a Virgo in their language? Show up, be organized, keep your word, step in to help without being asked. Notice the little things and prove you care in action, not just in theory. Tell them, relax, I've already taken care of it, and then actually do it. That one sentence, backed by real effort, is their version of poetry. When you love Virgo in this way, you unlock a devotion that is steady, grounded, and profoundly nurturing. They will pour themselves into supporting you, creating a life together that is not just functional but deeply harmonious. They may not shout their love from the rooftops, but they will prove it in 1,000 daily ways that quietly say, you are safe with me. You are cherished. I've got you. Libra. Libra loves harmony and balance. Their language is quality time plus sweet words, but it's not just about spending hours together or whispering compliments. For Libra, it's about creating a relationship where connection feels like music, smooth, flowing, without sharp edges or sudden breaks. Ruled by Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and pleasure, Libra views romance as an art form. They want love that is both felt and seen, a connection that looks beautiful on the outside but also feels balanced and fair on the inside. Quality time for Libra means being fully present. They're not interested in half-hearted attention where your eyes are glued to your phone or your mind is elsewhere. They want time that feels intentional, sitting across from each other in a charming cafe, walking hand in hand through a park, lingering over dinner with real conversation. They light up when you plan something thoughtful, like an art gallery trip, a picnic with flowers, or a night of music and candlelight. For Libra, beauty enhances love, and they deeply appreciate when their partner puts effort into creating special moments. Sweet words matter because Libras need verbal affirmation to feel secure. They crave kindness in communication, compliments that show you notice their efforts, and words that highlight their importance in your life. A simple, I couldn't have done this without you, or, I love the way you think, resonates with them deeply. They thrive on gentle reassurance, because while they often appear confident, many Libras quietly battle self-doubt. Hearing your admiration and affection out loud grounds them. Libra is also about partnership. More than any other sign, they want to feel like an equal in the relationship. Tell them, your opinion matters, let's decide together, and you'll watch their heart soften. They hate being forced into decisions alone or feeling like their perspective isn't valued. When you invite them into collaboration, from choosing dinner plans to making bigger life decisions, you're speaking directly to their soul. Equality is their love language. Fairness is essential for Libra. They're deeply sensitive to imbalance, whether it's in effort, communication, or affection. If they feel like they're giving more than they're receiving, resentment begins to creep in. They want a relationship where both people contribute, where responsibilities and joys are shared, and where both voices carry equal weight. If they sense constant conflict, manipulation, or dominance, they pull away, not because they don't care, but because discord drains them to their core. Romance for Libra is often tied to aesthetics. They notice details, the way you dress up for them, the little touches of beauty in a date night, the ambiance of a room. Appreciating their style, commenting on their grace, or planning experiences that appeal to their love of charm and elegance makes them feel adored. This doesn't mean everything has to be expensive. A walk during sunset, a handwritten letter, or flowers picked on the way home all speak volumes. It's about thoughtfulness and the intention behind the gesture. What wounds Libra most deeply is harshness. Constant arguments, cruel words, or pressure to make choices before they're ready leaves them feeling cornered and unvalued. They need time to weigh options, to consider every side, and a partner who respects that process. Pushing them too hard or creating constant chaos will make them retreat into indecision or silence. For Libra, peace is love, and without peace, their heart feels unsafe. To love a Libra in their language is to create harmony. Spend meaningful time together, fill the relationship with kind and affirming words, and treat them like a true partner in every decision. Don't underestimate the power of appreciating their style, their charm, and their efforts to make life beautiful. Balance your affection with consistency, and you'll find Libra offering you a love that is gentle, fair, and filled with devotion. When they feel safe, admired, and valued, Libras will love you endlessly, creating a relationship that feels like music, soft, graceful, and timeless. Scorpio. Scorpio's love language is intense closeness plus loyalty, and for them, this isn't negotiable. Scorpio doesn't just want love, they want complete merging of souls. Ruled by Pluto and Mars, Scorpio is drawn to transformation, intimacy, and depth. Their idea of romance is not light or casual, it's consuming, powerful, and deeply emotional. They crave relationships where both partners are all in, where vulnerability is met with unwavering devotion, and where love feels like a sacred bond. Scorpios need depth. They aren't satisfied with surface-level affection or shallow conversations. They want to know what you dream of at night, what keeps you awake at 2 a.m., and what scares you most. To them, love is about peeling back every layer until your souls are fully exposed. Tell them, ask me anything. I'll always be honest, and then mean it. Honesty is the key that unlocks their trust. Lies, half-truths, or withholding information destroys their faith faster than anything else. Loyalty is their oxygen. Scorpio has an all-or-nothing approach to love. They don't tolerate games, manipulation, or dishonesty, because their hearts are not built for half measures. When they love fiercely, giving every ounce of their being, and they expect the same in return. Show your loyalty by being consistent, by keeping promises, and by choosing them even when no one's watching. They notice every detail of your devotion, and they remember. Privacy is sacred to them. Scorpio feels most loved when you create a safe space where they can share their deepest thoughts without judgment. They thrive in relationships that honor intimacy, secrets, and trust. Sharing private jokes, keeping confidences, and respecting their vulnerabilities make them feel seen and valued. Betray their trust, however, and you may never get a second chance. Their love is intense, but so is their memory, especially when it comes to pain. Scorpio also craves intensity in closeness. Physical intimacy is deeply important, but not in a superficial way. For them, touch is an extension of emotional connection. They want passion, yes, but they also want presence, eye contact that feels like a soul connection, kisses that linger, embraces that say, "I will never let you go." Every moment of closeness reassures them that your bond is unbreakable. What devastates Scorpio is betrayal. Games, secrecy, or emotional manipulation cuts them to the core. They have an almost psychic ability to detect dishonesty, and once trust is broken, rebuilding it is nearly impossible. More than any other sign, they need transparency. Even if the truth is difficult, they'd rather hear it than feel deceived. To love a Scorpio in their language is to be brave enough to dive deep. Don't hold back your heart, don't hide your flaws, and don't pretend. Show them your loyalty through action, your honesty through words, and your devotion through presence. Stand with them in the darkness as much as in the light, and they'll know your love is real. When Scorpio feels secure, they give a love unlike any other, a love that is passionate, protective, and fiercely loyal. They will guard you, stand by you, and fight for you with unmatched intensity. Love with a Scorpio is not always easy, but it is always unforgettable. It's the kind of love that transforms you, leaving no part of your soul untouched. Sagittarius. Sagittarius speaks adventure plus inspiring words. For them, love is not a static thing, locked inside routines or confined to predictable patterns. It's a living, breathing experience of growth, laughter, and discovery. Ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion and possibility, Sagittarius thrives on freedom and exploration. Their love language is about keeping the relationship exciting, about constantly learning and discovering not just the world but each other. They want a partner who can join them in their endless quest for meaning, joy, and adventure. For Sagittarius, laughter is one of the purest forms of love. They fall harder for someone who can match their humor, who can tease them lightly, who can find the absurdity in everyday situations and laugh with them at life's unpredictability. Shared jokes and playful banter become the glue that bonds them. If you can make them laugh until their stomach hurts, you're speaking straight to their heart. Adventure is essential. To say, "Pack your bag, we're going somewhere new," is like poetry to them. This doesn't always mean flying halfway across the globe. It could be a spontaneous road trip, trying a new restaurant, hiking an unfamiliar trail, or even diving into an intellectual adventure like learning something new together. What matters is the spirit of exploration. Sagittarius feels loved when their partner embraces spontaneity and keeps life from going stale. Inspiring words are the second key to their love language. They crave conversations that expand their minds and souls. They want to talk about dreams, philosophies, and future possibilities. A Sagittarius lights up when their partner shares big visions, encourages their goals, or simply says, "I believe in you." Words that inspire, uplift, and motivate them fuel their passion. They are natural dreamers, and having someone who not only listens to those dreams but joins in the excitement makes them feel cherished. What they cannot stand is being caged. Rules, nitpicking, and restrictions suffocate their spirit. Sagittarius is a fire sign. Their flame burns brightest when there's room to breathe, move, and grow. If their partner tries to box them in or control their choices, their natural instinct is to run. They need trust and freedom to explore life's possibilities, and a partner who understands that will never lose their loyalty. Sagittarius also loves in the same way they want to be loved. They're the ones who will say, "Let's go on an adventure," or surprise you with a plan that pushes you out of your comfort zone. They'll motivate you with fiery encouragement, cheer you on when you doubt yourself, and remind you to see life through a lens of optimism. Their love is inspiring, playful, and full of discovery, and when reciprocated, it becomes an endless journey of joy and growth. To truly love a Sagittarius in their language, you must embrace the unknown. Be willing to laugh at life's chaos, to chase dreams together, to turn ordinary days into mini adventures. Don't weigh them down with unnecessary rules or drain their spirit with constant criticism. Instead, keep things light, uplifting, and expansive. When you do, Sagittarius will offer you a love that's free yet loyal, playful yet wise, and full of unforgettable moments that feel like an adventure of a lifetime. Capricorn. Capricorn's love language is commitment plus respect. Unlike Sagittarius, who craves freedom, Capricorn craves stability. They are ruled by Saturn, the planet of structure, responsibility, and time, and this influence shapes how they approach love. For Capricorn, romance is not a game or a fleeting thrill. Love is a serious investment, something to build steadily and intentionally over time. Their heart feels most secure when they know their partner is as committed to the future as they are. Commitment for Capricorn means showing up consistently. They want a partner who proves, day after day, that they are reliable. Big declarations of love mean little if they're not backed by consistent action. Capricorn feels most cherished when promises are kept, when loyalty is unquestionable, and when effort is steady. Tell them, I'm here for the long run, let's create together, and then prove it by following through with every action. Reliability is their version of romance. Respect is equally crucial. Capricorn works hard, dreams big, and carries responsibilities with determination. They need a partner who respects their ambition, their time, and their values. Mocking their seriousness or belittling their goals cuts them deeply. On the other hand, supporting their dreams, recognizing their achievements, and showing admiration for their dedication makes them feel truly loved. To Capricorn, respect is not optional, it is the very foundation of love. Capricorns also love through effort. They're not the type to shower you with endless sweet words or over-the-top gestures, but they will work tirelessly to build a stable life with you. They'll handle responsibilities, plan for the future, and make sure your shared life is secure. Their love is practical and grounded, expressed through action rather than constant verbal reassurance. For them, love is not about fleeting passion but about building something lasting and real. What turns Capricorn away is flakiness. They have little patience for games, mixed signals, or people who waste their time. If you cancel plans constantly, fail to follow through, or treat the relationship as casual when they're investing their whole heart, they'll pull back quickly. They value maturity and seriousness in love, and if they don't see that reflected in their partner, they won't stay. To love a Capricorn in their language, be dependable. Keep your promises. Show respect for their efforts, time, and goals. Offer them not just affection but partnership in building a future. They don't need dramatic speeches, they need to see, day after day, that you're in this with them. When loved correctly, Capricorn gives everything. They are fiercely loyal, protective, and hardworking. They will dedicate themselves to creating a stable, successful, and lasting relationship. While they may not always express love in grand, romantic gestures, their devotion is unshakable. With Capricorn, you gain a partner who doesn't just promise forever, they build it with you, brick by brick, day by day. Aquarius. Aquarius speaks intellectual connection plus freedom. For them, love is not just about romance, passion, or routine gestures of affection. It's about being fully seen and accepted for the unique, sometimes unconventional person they are. Ruled by Uranus, the planet of innovation and individuality, Aquarius is wired to think differently, dream bigger, and approach life with an eccentric flair. To love an Aquarius in their language, you have to embrace their uniqueness, feed their mind, and honor their independence. Intellectual connection is everything. Aquarius isn't necessarily swayed by roses, chocolates, or endless "I love yous." What really lights them up is a conversation that makes their brain spark. When you dive into thought-provoking discussions about the universe, technology, art, or even conspiracy theories at 2 a.m., you're opening the door to their heart. Tell them, that idea of yours is brilliant. Let's try it together, and you'll watch their entire soul shine. They feel loved when their thoughts are valued, when their wildest ideas are not dismissed but encouraged. Their love language is quirky, playful, and imaginative. They adore unusual dates. Things like visiting a science exhibit, stargazing with a telescope, exploring a hidden cafe, or trying out an activity that no one else would think of. For Aquarius, love is not meant to be ordinary. They want memories that feel fresh, exciting, and a little weird, the kind of stories they'll remember forever because they weren't just dinner and a movie. Freedom is the other pillar of their love. Aquarius can't stand feeling trapped, controlled, or forced into molds. If you try to cage them, they'll retreat emotionally, even if they stay physically. They need space to explore their individuality, their friendships, their projects, and their dreams. A partner who understands that giving them freedom is not a threat but an act of love will have their loyalty for life. They don't want to be compared to anyone else or pressured into being something they're not. Their individuality is their heartbeat, and when you honor it, they flourish in love. What kills the connection is comparison or control. demanding that they act like others, criticizing their eccentricities, or trying to confine them to strict expectations dims their spirit. Aquarius thrives on acceptance, not just tolerance, but genuine appreciation for their originality. Love for them has to be built on trust, mutual respect, and the freedom to be fully themselves. To love an Aquarius in their language, you must meet them as an equal partner in exploration. Stimulate their mind, embrace their quirks, support their dreams, and give them the space they need. Don't mistake their need for independence as lack of love. In truth, when they choose you while having the freedom to choose anything, it means their heart is truly yours. When Aquarius feels loved, they give a relationship unlike any other, filled with creativity, excitement, and a sense of partnership that feels revolutionary. They'll inspire you to see the world differently, to think bigger, to love more freely. Their love isn't just romantic, it's transformative, offering a bond that feels as limitless as the sky. Pisces. Pisces loves in tenderness plus dreams. Their language is empathy, romance, and emotional connection, but what makes them unique is how deeply they feel. Ruled by Neptune, the planet of imagination and spirituality, Pisces approaches love like a poet, like a dreamer, like someone who wants to merge completely with their partner's soul. For Pisces, love isn't just something you say, it's something you feel in every breath, every look, every moment of vulnerability shared together. Tenderness is their core. Pisces doesn't thrive on harsh words, cold attitudes, or distant partners. They crave gentleness, small acts of sweetness, soft touches, affectionate glances. A simple, "I feel you, your feelings matter," can be more powerful to Pisces than the grandest speech. They want to know that their emotions are not too much, that their sensitivity is a gift rather than a burden, that their dreams and fears are safe with you. Dreams are the second part of their love language. Pisces is ruled by imagination, and they long for a partner who isn't afraid to dive into fantasy with them. This can be as simple as daydreaming about your future together, creating art side by side, planning whimsical dates, or talking about the what-ifs of life. They adore creative gestures, a handwritten note, a playlist made just for them, a surprise that feels personal and magical. Romance to Pisces is found in the details, in the ways you show you've thought of them. Pisces gives everything in love, but they're also incredibly vulnerable. Their empathy makes them absorb not only their own emotions but also their partners', which means they need gentleness more than anything. Harshness, criticism, or coldness can crush their spirit quickly. They withdraw into their inner world when they feel hurt, and it can take a long time for them to fully resurface. Their love is delicate, like water, beautiful and flowing, but also easily disturbed. To love a Pisces in their language, you must nurture their heart. Show consistent empathy. Listen deeply when they share their feelings. Offer genuine affection and romantic gestures that prove you care. Don't mock their dreams or dismiss their emotions. Instead, step into their world and let them know you want to share it. When Pisces feels loved, they give you everything. A love that is selfless, compassionate, and endlessly imaginative. They'll dream with you, support you, and pour tenderness into every corner of the relationship. Their love feels like magic, soft, healing, and transformative. With Pisces, romance becomes not just a reality, but a dream you get to live in together. So here's the challenge. Pick your sign and try one phrase and one action from this video today. Notice how it changes the connection. Because love isn't one size fits all, but when you speak someone's secret love language, they'll hear it louder than any "I love you." If you want part 2, where we match signs' love languages for compatibility and even design date ideas for each pair, hit that like button, subscribe, check out the other videos on this channel, and follow the links in the description for more astro insights.